Hello! I am continuing my reading of Jordan B. Peterson's book 12 Rules for Life. And I actually listened to the audiobook of Rule 10, Be Precise in Your Speech. While listening to this chapter, I had mixed feelings. The intention of me reading this book is to learn the lessons, but at the same time I find myself reflecting on the writing style of Jordan B. Peterson. So I'm going to share that first and then the message. I mentioned it in the previous videos that I find it too long, so that one loses actually the focus and the message. I knew this from the previous chapter, so I refocused my attention all the time, but the question was being carried in my mind all the time. Okay, so how will you come to the point of be precise in your speech all the time? And that was the judgmental part of me. But at the same time, because it's so long, the author, Jordan B. Peterson, is giving lots of ideas, sharing lots of his opinions, which makes it an intimate relationship. He shares more of who he is and what he thinks with us, with the readers or listeners. That's actually a good thing, to create a relationship with the person that you are reading. Like these two sides I carried with me while I was listening to this chapter. Put it aside now, and I come to the point. The reason I'm reading this book, as I started in the vlog, I recognized the chaos in my life and I decided I'm going to give more structure, because only through structuring my life I can feel the freedom, which is the most important value of mine. And in this book, in this rule, he talks about the precision in the speech, such that when there's a problem, express what the problem is. First, see it. Don't divert to all the related problems or the problems in the past or things that are wrong with you, which will probably happen, because when chaos shows itself, then it connects to lots of other things. But be precise and see what it is and share what it is. If you are unhappy in your relationship, tell that you are unhappy. You don't have to exactly know all the details of it, but you have to start precisely at the point when the problem is showing itself. Be precise with your speech. Tell the problem. See the problem. Tell the problem. Telling the problem, seeing the problem, is the beginning of a conversation. It is a dialogue. When it's with the other person, other people, then you are inviting them to a dialogue, which is a negotiation process. You will tell how you feel, the other person will tell how they feel, and there will be some chaos going on, but this space exists so that you will learn something new and you will move forward with your life as a changed person that has learned about the problem and that now knows what they want to move forward. This is the second part of the precision. You have to be precise about what you want and where you are going. If you don't know where you are, which is the problem definition, then it's impossible for you to say where you want to go and how you want to go, because you have to first define this point. And then the next definition is really defining where it is you want to go. Sometimes we don't define it. For example, in my life, I don't set goals, or I'm having a business, but I don't know exactly how many customers I want. I don't say it, I don't declare it, which makes it difficult to achieve it, but at the same time I benefit from this vagueness, because then I don't have to run and try to do it. If I don't have it, then I can just relax. There's a certain benefit of not being precise, but in the overall system of things, it takes away the possibility of being successful when you don't define what success is. Also, be precise about where you want to go, your intention, your direction. And this precision will always continue happening whenever chaos, because it will happen, chaos happens, problems arise, you find yourself in a chaotic situation, in crisis situation, you precisely define how you feel, where you are at, and from there work out where you want to go, and you can define how you want to go there. This is the general idea I got from this chapter. It's huge, but that is the key point. And I also liked a lot how he describes about different roles that we have. He uses an example of a marriage crisis and a husband who cheated on a wife, and wife's feelings around this. And he's talking about possible scenarios, what caused this, what could the woman have done or thought that created this, what could the man have done and thought that could have created this situation. Like, there are lots of things that could be there. I liked a lot the possible variations of scenarios. That makes me remember that you can never assume what happened for the other person. What I liked is that he's defining the roles we take in the negotiations, or why we don't negotiate when we see that there's a problem. We don't tell it and we don't negotiate because there are roles that we take which we want to continue taking. And it's the drama triangle that I mentioned to you before: the victim, the persecutor, and then there's the rescuer. So instead of victim, so he's talking about two roles. Instead of victim, he's saying slave, the role of the slave. And instead of persecutor, he's talking about the role of tyrant. And he's saying, well, slave, a possible way to not negotiate and not declare the problem is to take the role of the slave, where you continue taking on things and doing for the other person. And there is a certain comfort in it because you can be seen by others as, oh, how effortful is this person, how caring is this person. You can be perpetuating, continuing your historical, maybe coming from your family, these kinds of used habits and positions that you had. Whereas in the tyranny, it's again about a learned position, like making the other person do things for you and not taking responsibility. That I found interesting. Instead of using the victim and persecutor terms, using tyrant and slave. That was another nice learning for me. Rule 9, be precise in your speech, be precise in problem description, share what you feel, what you think precisely, and precisely define the intention, where you want to go, your target, your goal, and keep going for it. And there will always be problems, there will always be suffering, but always be precise so that you bring order and you move forward. I will continue with, this was rule 10, I guess I said 9, rule 10, and I'm going to continue with rule 11, which will be, do not bother children while they are skateboarding. Interesting. let's see. Take very good care of yourself.